This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, everybody. I'm Ricardo Lightborn. It's great to have you with us this evening. Well, topping the news for you, the government is moving to complete and also break ground for a number of capital projects here on Grand Bahama. The Minister for Grand Bahama says it's all a part of the master plan to revive the island's economy. Let's go to Joan Davis Roll.
Another round of capital projects set to take off on Grand Bahama as the government moves to further solidify this island's economy. The Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Michael Davo, during his budget contribution Monday, outlined the level of investment taking place in various sectors of Grand Bahama.
Mr. Speaker, the Fishing Hole Road, a contract was signed for $6.5 million. The fire station, signed for $6.2 million. The school for West Grand Bahama, where we will break ground in 2 weeks, will cost us $11 million. The seawall in Smith Point, something that we have been fighting with the engineering challenges. A contract has been awarded for some $4.2 million, and we will break ground on that project in 2 weeks. The renovations of the Rand Memorial Hospital is $11 million. The renovation of all clinics in Grand Bahama is $2.5 million. Potable water in East and West Grand Bahama, $1.7 million.
That's not all. The healthcare sector and other areas also getting a major chunk of the economic pie.
The new Freeport Community Clinic, which I will talk about a little bit later, is $28 million. Ambulances for the Grand Bahama area, $0.4 million. Diagnostic equipment for the Rand Memorial Hospital, including a 69-slice CT scan, an MRI, 4 portable x-rays, and ultrasound machines, $3.6 million. Renovation of government buildings, the Garnet Lavarity Justice Center, project ongoing, $1.2 million. The Freeport Post Office, contract already signed, ready to start work in about a week and a half, $1.1 million. The Harold Gregory Complex, mold remediation and renovation, $1 million. The Grand Bahama Sporting Complex, $1.4 million. The CEA Smith Storage Facility, $1.2 million. 36 government homes on the island of Grand Bahama, $4.3 million. Mr. Speaker, when they on the side speak about nothing's happening in Grand Bahama, I want to add this total up. As we speak, Mr. Speaker, this same Christie-led administration on the island of Grand Bahama, at the end of this budget, would have pumped $86.3 million on the island. And they say nothing's happening in Grand Bahama. I want them to match that.
Joan Davis Roll, ZNS Network News.
Well, a new chapter unfolding at the Statoil South Riding Point and East End as the company officially opens a project that has been in the making for some 5 years. Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
Officials at Statoil South Riding Point celebrating a milestone as they cut the ribbon on the company's new administrative building. Deputy Terminal Manager for Statoil South Riding Point, Kevin Stewart, says the $5.5 million, 18,554 square foot building constructed by Reef Construction was completed on time and on budget.
This is excellent. You know, the older building is about 40 years old. So right now, for us to come to work, we are now on par with the rest of Statoil worldwide. So we're really proud of that. And the morale, the everyday work, everyone is happy and really feel accomplished today.
Senior Vice President of MMP Asset Management, Greta Holland, says South Riding Point is an important asset for Statoil, adding that the opening of the new building marks a new step in its further development. She says with the new realities facing the oil industry and its high volatility, the company must adapt.
We are confident that the oil and gas will be an important source for energy for several decades to come. The challenge is to produce the hydrocarbon with as high carbon efficiency as possible.
Congratulating the company on its progress, President of Statoil South Riding Point, Jeffrey Munro, says the facility has come a long way since Statoil took ownership in 2009 and says employees are its biggest asset.
The new administration building is here to provide you with better tools to continue our mission to provide safe, reliable, and efficient operations to Statoil employees, our customers, and our contractors.
Senator Tanisha Tynes, who was also present, congratulated management and employees on the facility.
We look forward to you partnering with the community to enrich it, to make the people learn more about what you do.
General Manager of BAIC Troy Sampson also extended congratulations to its tenant Statoil, suggesting that the investment says a lot considering the challenges of the oil market.
Whenever you see an entity double down, so to speak, it must mean that their confidence in the economy and in the area in which they do their business is very strong.
Company officials say they look forward to cementing its position as a community partner on the island. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
And a Grand Bahama businessman is taking a leap of faith in investing in the tourism sector. Despite the current challenges, he is optimistic about the quick turnaround. Megan Shepard has got this one.
Jags International Services now has a permanent home, and it is more centrally located on Coral Road. President James Turner says that even though the island's economy is slower than residents would like, he found it important to take this risk and make the investment. He says he was inspired to take the leap following a visit to another island.
I look around in Abaco and I talk to the Abaco guys, and they say the difference between us and you is we get together because we believe in what we have here. Do you believe in what you have in Grand Bahama? Yes, the answer is yes. Well, if you believe, invest. That's what we did, because we believe that things will get better. It's already getting better, but it's just moving a lot slower than most of us would like. We decided to invest in a building, invest in a permanent home, do some things to grow the business, because we believe that it's only a matter of time before Grand Bahama takes its rightful role in the islands of the Bahamas.
The grand opening of the new location was a special day for the Jags family. Turner says the public will be able to see the full range of product offerings and also share his company's vision.
Not only are we presenting Jags International Services, which is the travel portion that the community knows, but we also talk a little bit more about the ship agency today. Folks saw the rental cars, and we were able to talk to them a little about the tours and excursions that we're also advancing. This is the first time that I believe we actually had all of our staff together when it was not a staff meeting, where they were actually in a social environment and able to interact. Because we have some that are at the airport, some that are at the harbor, some at the hotel, some here at the office.
Turner has been a part of the tourism sector for some 3 decades. Director in the Ministry of Tourism, Betty Bethel, commending Turner for this new bold step.
To have an expert like James, someone who understands tourism and this destination, it's a win-win combination for us. And what I like most is to see Bahamians now taking ownership of their tourism industry.
Businessman Hadley Forbes and hotelier Magnus Alnabak supporting the event and praising Turner for his vision.
With vision, this is what can happen. And a purpose of only for living, this is what can take place. And have solution to problems that people say they have. This is one step closer to bringing the business to the people.
So I think it's great that we have people in tourism that are from Grand Bahama and that understands all the different aspects of our industry.
There was an official ribbon cutting and blessing over the building. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
And the Ministry of Tourism and other industrial partners are working together to attract more tourists, and cruise ship arrivals are the major focus. They're hoping that to achieve some degree of success in light of the plans announced by Carnival Cruise Line. Cleopatra Murphy explains.
Grand Bahama welcomes approximately 1.5 million cruise ship passengers to its shores annually, and Port Director of the Freeport Harbor Company, Orlando Forbes, says almost midway through the year, the island is on pace to match those numbers.
Carnival, as you would be aware, is the main line that calls to Freeport, supplemented by lines like NCL, occasionally MSC. It is a good business that really, goes a long way to ensuring that the locals here are able to sustain and maintain a good, reasonable standard of living.
Cruise ships continue to be the biggest driver of tourism for Grand Bahama, bringing the most tourists to the island annually. Manager of Maritime and Sports Tourism in the Ministry of Tourism, Nuvalari Chotasing, says the ministry is committed to attracting more vessels to Grand Bahama as they generate more business.
Here in Grand Bahama, the Grand Bahama Freeport Harbor Company is always looking to attract other ships, and so we have to continue to be in the marketplace because the competition out there is so great. The Caribbean itself is the world's #1 cruise destination, and anytime we get a new ship, it means we got one more.
Forbes says the port is seeking more, particularly now that Carnival Cruise Line is looking to move to another location. The cruise line has an application currently under review for a private port in East Grand Bahama.
That being said, it then suggests that the port has to go out and find new customers. We are aggressively pursuing a few of them. And so hopefully in the not too distant future, we'll be able to speak to perhaps another line like maybe MSC or Royal Caribbean calling at the port.
In the meantime, Forbes says port officials expect to do in excess of 320 cruise calls at the harbor this year. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
And a man hauled before the courts today, actually charged with 12 counts of housebreaking and stealing from a dwelling house. Well, 39-year-old Sean Lahenza Lang at number 12 Bentley Drive, Caravel Beach, pleaded guilty to all counts. The hearing was adjourned until tomorrow. That is when Magistrate Debbie Ferguson will hand down a sentence. The offenses reportedly occurred in the Freeport, Lucaya area over the past 2 years. And police on Grand Bahama seeking the public assistance in locating 34-year-old Fabian Robert Fox, a.k.a. W, from Rama Key Drive, Freeport. Well, Fox is 5 feet 8 inches tall, 160 to 170 pounds, hazel eyes, medium brown complexion, slim build, and also reports say that the last time seen at his residence during the evening of Friday, April 8th, wearing a long sleeve shirt and also long trousers. And he is also, if you do know the whereabouts of Fabian Fox tonight, you should contact the police at 350-3107 through 12-911-919 or do call the nearest police station. We got a break coming, more news when we return.